Hello everyone and welcome to another video. We were just given information about two of the new light cones, one being Black Swan's signature light cone, while the other looks to be Misha's. The next weapon banner that we have coming is actually insane, and how insane exactly? Let's talk about that in today's video. If you're new here, take a chance with me and consider subscribing. I'm going to be covering a lot in 2.0 and I would love to see you all again soon. Now, let's get back into the video. So what exactly is so crazy about this weapon banner? Look no further as we're going to start off with Black Swan's Light Cone. Her Light Cone, Reforged Remembrance, increases the wearer's effect hit rate by 40% and will also gain 1 stack of profit for each of the 4 different dot types, once per dot type. Every stack will give an additional 5% attack while also ignoring 7.2% of defense. To fully utilize this Light Cone, you'll want to have as much dot types on the boss as possible, and it sounds a little bit tedious. However, this is Black Swan's signature Light Cone. We were also officially revealed of what her ultimate does, which applies Epiphany to all enemies on the field, and when an enemy is targeted with Epiphany on them, the Arcana that she creates is considered to be all 4 of those dot types, meaning you'll be able to get the full benefit from her Light Cone with just Black Swan alone. So in total, that's 20% additional attack percent and 28.8 defense ignore. That's, for lack of better words, kind of insane. Now, her Light Cone is obviously the best in slot for her, but it's also really a great general Light Cone as well. This Light Cone, as it presents at its base, is 40% effect hit rate. And when you pair it with another damage over time character in a damage over time team, you realistically have 2 dot types present. Let's use the example of Kafka, Black Swan, Rohan May, and just any sort of sustainer that you have. This team by itself has 1 unique dot, which is Shock from Kafka, meaning that Black Swan would only be able to get 5% attack and 7.2 natural defense ignore from the Light Cone. However, if you were to run this Light Cone on someone like Sampo, Shock and Wind Shear will be added onto the boss, meaning Sampo would gain 10% attack and 14.4 defense ignore, while also getting a 40% effect hit rate, which normally he needs 67% in the first place. So, depending on the situation you're in, the Light Cone can be used on every damage over time unit, and it's also just a great stat stick because it is a 5-star Light Cone. For Black Swan, it's a no-brainer to be running this Light Cone on her, especially with the crazy ease of accessibility to its max gain from using her ultimate. I'm currently going off the idea that Arcana isn't considered to be like Wind Shear since they aren't registered the same way, and once I get my hands on her and can make my Black Swan video, I'll get more clear and cut answers for all of that then. Alongside Black Swan, Imbibitor Lunae is also running along. So it's better if we cover his Light Cone as well. Brighter Than the Sun increases the wearer's crit rate by 18%, and when they use a basic, they'll be granted a stack called Dragon's Call, which increases the wearer's attack by 18% and energy regeneration rate by 6%. This effect can be stacked twice. This Light Cone is super incredible for Imbibitor Lunae, and there's no doubt about it that if you're interested in his character, this should be the go-to Light Cone for you. It's also just a great general stat stick as well for the most part, but the rest of the effects are just major benefits for him. With both of these characters being very much so fan favorites currently, no matter which banner you choose, you're also going to be in for a good time with the 4-star Light Cones that are on these banners because they are shared. You'll just have to pick your poison and go for whichever one you prefer. So now let's move on to the 4-star Light Cones, and let's start with Misha's Light Cone, Indelible Promise. This is a new 4-star Light Cone that's joining our roster of the Light Cones available, and since this is new now, once the patch ends, it will be added to the standard rotational pool, so you'll be able to accidentally hit it from all the banners except the beginner banner. This Light Cone increases the wearer's break effect by 28%, and when their wearer uses their ultimate, it'll increase their crit rate by 15% lasting for 2 turns. This gives us a good bit of how we could potentially be playing Misha as a whole. Having break effect is a really good general stat, and the crit from the ultimate leads me to believe that Misha will be playing around with his ultimate as his main damage. This is also all from a Superimposition 1 Light Cone, so with more Superimpositions, this Light Cone is going to be pretty incredible. We don't know the final stats, so once we have access to it, I'll be checking it out later. And speaking of this light cone, it'll also be great for a character we have now with Yi, since she's gonna love the break effect, and the additional crit is nothing to scoff at. This is definitely a great destruction light cone to pick up. Man, and if you thought that light cone was good, wait until you see the other two light cones on this banner. Resolution shines as Pearl of Sweat is a light cone that has the chance to imply ensnared. When an enemy is ensnared, they'll have their defense decreased by 12% at S1 and 16% at S5. The great thing about getting more dupes of this light cone is you'll have a better chance of hitting the defense down, because the base chance will raise from 60% to 100%, so the effect hit rate requirement starts to lower. This light cone is pretty incredible for damage over time, as it's just also a great light cone in general because of the defense down. This is also a Nihility light cone, so you could pair it up with your Pela, who already has a defense down from her ultimate, but her ultimate attacks all enemies, so she has a chance to apply her own defense down as well as the ensnared defense down. So it does stack up. And you have to build effect hit rate on her anyway, so it's just really a big benefit for this light cone. Now let's get to the last light cone of this batch, and probably the best one of the three, which is Dance Dance Dance. This light cone allows for all allies' actions to be advanced forward by 16% at S1 and 24% at S5 when the wearer uses their ultimate. Advance forward is one of the most important things to have for a turn-based game. This allows you to be able to take more actions, which can lead to quicker clears, and this light cone is usually best paired with characters like Ting Yun, who can get her ultimate immediately turn 1, and honestly, this light cone is so valuable, almost every Harmony unit can use it and take advantage of it to its full potential. The more actions you can take, the better, and it never hurts to have opportunities to deal more damage. Now, overall, these light cone banners are incredibly stacked, so no matter which light cone you may hit for your 4-star, you're getting some incredible value for your account. If you're interested in Black Swan and are considering pulling for a light cone, I hope this gives you a little more clarity in wanting to actually commit to going for it. If you're going for Imbibitor Lunae, you're getting a really great light cone for your money, and there's no miss from the 4-stars. Take advantage of a banner like this, because there really isn't a missed opportunity, and everything just has insane value. And that's all I've got for this video. Thanks for watching. I'd love if you could take the time to subscribe, and there's a lot to look forward to with 2.0 around the corner, and I'm looking forward to covering it with you all here with me. Comment down below if there's anything I can improve on, and until next time, peace.